What's going on, everybody? It's Jake from the Down the Middle podcast, and I am here once again to introduce you to yet another episode of Weekly Wrestling Wrap Up, the online wrestling show that I did way back in the day before I did this online wrestling show. It was very different back then. HD was new. I don't even think Raw was necessarily broadcasting in HD yet. I can't remember. But to give you an idea, back in 2007, this episode is very special because it marks the beginning of the entirety of the series being a comedy. As I was remembering back, I thought this was when we introduced comedy after watching the first two episodes again. Certainly by episode two, we had comedic elements introduced, but I would say this is the first sort of defined comedy storyline for sure. I know we had John Cena in the previous episode. And if you haven't seen that, go back and watch it because he goes through a drive-through and actually orders food. It's quite funny. And but this episode introduces our friend Nick Name, who is still one of the funniest people I have ever met in my entire life. Dude is genuinely just hilarious, sharp as a tack. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but the entirety of this series was always ad-libbed, save for one episode where we did have a script, but even then we ad-libbed. That was our parody of The Office in season two. But all the regular episodes were completely ad-libbed. There was no script, no notes, no nothing. And because of that, and Nick being one of the funniest people on the planet, you see Hot Stuff Joey Holmes and I break more than a few times. And I feel like we covered it up really well. But I think we props to everyone involved for keeping it together. But just to illustrate how far back this was, some of the things we talk about, Santino Marella was new. Bobby Lashley had just come from ECW fairly recently. ECW was still on television, and Kurt Angle was an active wrestler in TNA. So it was a while back. Plus, to illustrate how far back this was, I was wearing my high school's championship basketball team shirt when we went undefeated. I shouldn't say we, where the team went undefeated that season, 27-0. Go Mohawks. I don't know how they're doing these days, but it was a big deal back then. It was a very big deal. But anyway, enough said. You're ready to watch the hilarity, so enjoy this episode of Weekly Wrestling Wrap Up. And just a reminder, this episode is brought to you by our friends at Stevie Wicks. We will talk more about them in a little bit, but now here is the show.
They put their bodies, their careers, and their lives on the line. They have spent years training and have a lifetime of experience. But what entertains you tears their bodies apart. So cheer for them, admire them, believe in them, but leave the action to them. Please do not try this at home.
Ow. Oh. Hey. We're on camera.
Oh, shit. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Weekly Wrestling Wrap Up. I'm Jake Russell.
I'm Joey Holmes. It was just such a boring week, we had to take a nap.
There wasn't much better to do. Don't do that, you're very young. Sorry.
We receive millions of letters a week, but there was one that stood out. It was apparently signed by our number one fan, whose name is Nick. He wouldn't give his last name. He wants to, keep his anonymity or whatever.
What the hell are you talking about? Why didn't you tell me about this?
Well, I just didn't want to.
Well, okay, what did he say?
I don't know. But he's here, and...
What the fuck?
What?
He's here?
Yeah.
On our show. And you didn't tell me.
It's funnier this way.
Christ. Well, he better be... Just one thing, he better not be a dumbass.
Uh-huh.
Well, anyway, where the hell is he? because we don't have anything else to do.
He's right there. And we want you to come on camera, our number one fan. Get on the couch, you son of a bitch.
This is the couch. Who the fuck is this guy?
An excitable young fella. Because he sent us a letter that we just couldn't ignore, even though we tried.
Yeah, you could ignore it. You can only ignore telling me about it. The fucking co-host. Get the fuck off my head.
If any of you have
This is my
been
money
wondering,
maker.
Jake and I are not a married couple, even though it seems like it.
I cannot believe you're behaving this way. I swear to God, I thought we talked about this.
There we go. So we invited Nick on here while we do the Raw segment. He's going to help us out a little bit with it. He's going to help out Hot Stuff and Bitchy Mitch.
Apparently,
Richardson.
the co-host that you don't give a rat's ass about.
Again, we're not married. So let's go to Raw.
Because you're afraid.
Or before we go to Raw, I guess, we at least should have you introduce yourself to the fans, to the millions of people that watch us every week.
I'm their biggest fan. I'm not gonna lie. I just let me just let you know. Okay, let me just say this is an honor. An honor. I've been watching your guys' show for 3 years now. I've got all the episodes on DVD. You could definitely call me a die-hard fan, and I just want to tell you that is everything about you, everything, the way you smell. I'm here, and
I kind of wish.
Let's go!
I kind of wish this fan would die hard.
let's go. All right.
Alright, it's time for the Raw segment.
Well, wait. Before we go to Raw, I just want to know one thing.
Okay.
What exactly did this guy send you in an email that got you so worked up about getting him on our show?
Nude photos.
Seriously?
No.
That's not cool, people.
Unless you're the ladies. No ladies watch this show. Okay.
So you know what? I'll ask this guy directly because I'm not getting anything out of you. What did you email? Because Joey Holmes here was not good enough to tell me.
Well, was it episode 2, I believe? 2? It didn't seem real. The pizza pan incident. I asked if you really did hit yourself in the face with the pizza pan. That's my question. I asked.
That's what he asked.
Are you some kind of dunce? What the hell is wrong with you? This is a wrestling show. And you ask if a question is so trivial about a pizza pan.
Well, yeah.
A useless prop. You ask a question about a prop when you could have asked anything.
Pizza pans are far, far from useless. Jake.
Where the hell did you get this guy?
I don't know.
Where did you get this guy? Honestly, how could you be so incompetent as to come on our show and make a fool of yourself like that? You know what? Just forget it. Before you make yourself look even more incredibly stupid, let's just go to Raw, okay? Let's just do the Raw segment.
Raw opened up this week with every top contender on Raw complaining that they weren't getting a title shot. So, interim general manager William Regal, the British guy, set up a beat the clock tournament for all of the wrestlers who thought they deserved a WWE title shot.
No, they didn't actually wrestle against a clock. Correct. They didn't have to beat the clock.
Oh my god.
Make that clear.
Oh my god.
No, they did not have to beat a clock.
You do realize, viewers, I apologize for this guy. It's not even right to refer to him as a sentient life form. He's that guy.
Sentient.
From now on. Spell that and I'll give you $100.
Sentient.
Well, the first match was Randy Orton versus Jeff Hardy. It was a good match. Orton won, but he didn't until about a little after 7 minutes. And then there's so much tension here. Umaga won the Intercontinental title from Santino Marella. So
Finally.
Rocky Balboa lost his title. And
Rest in peace.
rest in peace, Santino Marella. We hope you're having fun banging Maria, because we all would.
This guy wouldn't, because he wouldn't know what to do with her. Yeah, I said it.
I'm sorry. He must be ragging. Don't mind, little bitchy.
Oh yeah, I'm
bitchy
ragging.
bitch.
I'm ragging.
Bitch, can't hit myself with a pizza pan because they're useless. Pizza pans are useful. They're used full. They're full of use.
King Booker
Just
beat
like you're
Val
full of
Venus
hot air.
to get the new beat the clock
Hot air.
time. Super crazy beat Kennedy in about 3 seconds in a hilarious match. Sandman Carleo wrestled to a disqualification for Sandman. And Lashley beat Benjamin to become the #1 contender for the WWE title. So it'll be him and John Cena at Great American Bash.
As a side note to that match, Lashley did a beautiful mid-air spear to Benjamin. It was awesome.
Yes, it was. So props to Lashley. He's finally going to get a shot at the big title. No offense to the ECW title.
Because they're technically the same size. As if we were discussing belts in a size matter. Same size.
Yes.
Back to you, Joe.
I guess the Raw segment's done. We've gone through most of the matches, I believe. I don't know. I could use a drink. Even though I've already been drinking. So, anything you want to add before we go to your ECW segment, or?
Unfortunately, this week, don't have a lot for you. ECW sucked almost as much as this guy here. So we'll just go to it and get this crap fest over with. Hello everybody, welcome to the ECW segment. I am Jake Russell, your ECW correspondent. This week, ECW plain sucked. Kind of like our special guest tonight. Nothing much happened, kind of like what's going on in our special guest's brain tonight. Anyway, the first match of the night, they set up the whole night to be a pick-your-poison bout between Johnny Nitro and CM Punk. Now, that does not mean they fought each other. What it meant was each would pick an opponent to fight the other. Essentially, a waste of airtime. The first matchup was CM Punk's pick versus Johnny Nitro. CM Punk picked Tommy Dreamer. Had the makings to be a good match, but unfortunately, Tommy Dreamer is either injured or they were asleep because the match was incredibly slow-paced, and Tommy didn't even do a DDT, which I was hoping for. I was waiting for the whole time. But anyway, not a good match at all. Okay, to be perfectly frank, ECW was not good this week at all. I honestly think it was the worst episode ECW has had on Sci-Fi to date. And I can't even go into it. You know what I'm going to do, though, which really just grinding my gears right now, is who is this Nick guy coming on here trying to make a fool out of me and my co-host and all of you? You know what? He's trying to make fun of you by asking ridiculous questions that you honestly care nothing about. He is a moron. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have gone off on that tangent, but I'm just really steamed about what happened tonight because this guy just comes on and he starts trying to make a fool out of me, out of Joey Holmes, and out of you. You know what? There's no excuse for that. You deserve better quality airtime than him coming up and asking stupid questions and making comments like, belts are the same size. Sorry, our special guest was very reminiscent to ECW this week because they were so strapped for ideas they actually tried to use footage from Vince.
Yeah, that's right. What you want in your tombstone, boy? Yeah, that's what you get for messing with the Red Baron. ECW. Here we go. So, they actually showed footage from Vengeance the other night. CM Punk versus Johnny Nitro. Supposed to be CM Punk versus Chris Benoit, but due to circumstances, said match continues. This being a match that's put together at the last minute, it actually wasn't really too bad. I was kind of impressed with it. Last match of the night, we had CM Punk versus Johnny Nitro's pick, Kevin Thorne. It's a pretty good match. They've had better, but I kind of wish that Punk would have did his GTS. That's badass. Alright, but blah blah blah. Nitro versus Punk. That's going to be the match at Great American Bash. Now, man, I want to be doing this from now on. This is my segment. Nick, this is Nick's segment. You ain't got nothing to say about that, you pizza unfriendly bitch.
What the F was that? I suddenly see this bald blur hit Jake in the face with a pizza pan, and he's down for the count. And then this guy does the rest of the segment. We invited him on for one little segment. I really don't care. Well, I hope Jake's okay. We really don't have any EMTs or anything, so I guess he's just gonna bleed to death. But eh.
Well, I hope you're enjoying the hilarity that is Weekly Wrestling Wrap Up. Yes, that pan shot was real. But I want to take a moment and tell you about today's sponsor, our friends at Stevie Wicks. Listen, fellas, Valentine's Day is coming up real soon. I know it seems like a long way off. It'll be here before you know it. And what better gift is there to give than Valentine's Day candles? And our friends at Stevie Wicks have you covered. This particular set, the Little Piece of My Heart set, is a real big hit for Valentine's Day because, it's a gift you give her, one for you, one for her. You can burn them together. It's a little set, it's a little couple, just like you. It's real cute. Very popular. The ladies love them. Or you can go with one of the bigger candles we have, the standard 3-wick ones where Valentine's Day themed or standard candles. You can get a Valentine's Day box with everything. There's lots of options. Go to steviewicks.com to check it out. And don't forget to use promo code DTM when you check out and you save 10% off the already lowered prices for the holiday. But now, back to the show.
Okay, time for the TNA SmackDown review. First TNA, because TNA's on Thursday, SmackDown's on Friday, Thursday before Friday, Friday's not before Thursday. Here we go, I'm excited. I've been drinking a little bit, that's just how it goes. Alright, TNA started out with the World Tag Team titles, the TNA Tag Team titles on the line. Team 3D defending against Christopher Daniels and AJ Styles, and also against Latin American Exchange. Team 3D pulls out the win in a pretty good triple threat match. It wasn't too bad. Match of the night for TNA. And then nothing really happened. Sting brought somebody down to talk to Abyss, and he said he's going to talk next week. Now, if we all remember, there was also a superstar in WWE who used to have a mask and didn't talk, and terrorized everyone, and really did a good job. His name is Kane. Now, people say TNA stole the Kane character and turned it into Abyss. It's obvious, but they've done a good job with it. And now they're going to take away his mask and make him talk and make him human. It's going to ruin the character. I hope they don't do it. But hopefully Abyss attacks Sting and they can feud and then Sting can retire. So, thumbs down. And then Kurt Angle had his little appreciation night. Dudley Boys came out, beat him up. Then Samoa Joe came out for some reason to save him. He should know better by now because Angle slammed him through a table, which was a bad idea because Samoa Joe is now even more pissed at Angle, and they have to team up at Turning Point. So, thumbs down to Angle. That was pretty stupid, but I don't know. So, to SmackDown, not a great episode, but the match of the week happened on SmackDown. Matt Hardy versus MVP. MVP, of course, did not defend the title, but Matt Hardy beat him in an awesome match. It was so good that I couldn't sleep. So I walked down the road to the nearest convenience store to get a drink, and I said, "Hey man, did you see SmackDown tonight?" And he goes, No, I don't watch wrestling." So I was shortly thereafter arrested because I tore up the store, and I beat up the convenience store clerk because if you don't watch wrestling, I'm probably going to beat you up. So it's this huge legal incident. I might have to go away for a while. It's okay. Chris Masters beat Jimmy Wang Yang, and he finally won a match, but he beat a cruiserweight. Good job, Masterpiece. Thumbs up to you, you freaking dumbass. A new tag team has emerged on SmackDown, the Major Brothers, they're an old-fashioned type of tag team. They remind me of the Hart Foundation, which I love the Hart Foundation. So I hope they get a title shot sometime soon, or somewhere in the future. Probably won't be for a while. And then Ric Flair and Finlay had a match. Wasn't too bad, but and Teddy Long announced that there'd be a cutting edge on SmackDown. So, and he wouldn't tell Edge who his special guest was. It was frickin' Kane. Now, it was. And Kane came out, and Edge was rude to him, and scared and mortified, as we all are of Kane, because he's ugly and sweaty, and he just looks like that guy on the show Oz. He'll just come behind you and go, "Hey, you want to party?" And it's just weird. Edge left, and it looks like Kane and him at Great American Bash for the World Heavyweight title, which is an awesome thing for Kane. He needs a world title shot. I don't see him winning, but I hope he does, because I want to see him have a title longer than 24 hours. But I also believe the only reason Kane's getting a title shot is because SmackDown is out of talent for the moment. Sorry, No offense to Kane, but that's just true. So, that's it. That's all that happened on TNA and SmackDown. I'm just making sure nobody's going to be flying out of the corner with a pin. I guess not. Okay, so we're going to go to the end of the show. So, get the hell out of my room. What are you doing here?
I'm part of the show now, man. Part of the wrap-up family. It's me, next to you on the couch.
Okay. Well, where's Jake?
Oh, you don't need to worry about that, dude. Not at all. No, don't worry about it. Just take a show.
Fair enough. Jake's gone, and I might miss him. So I guess I have a new broadcast partner, Nick. What is your last name?
Oh, we don't really need to worry about that, man. I'm gonna have some warrants looking for me for a little while. You can just stick to Nick. Just stick to Nick.
Okay.
Okay.
It's Hot Stuff Joey Holmes and Nick. It's kind of like a take on Cher, I guess. I don't know. Okay. Pretty slow week in wrestling. Strange shit happening around here, but I'm not afraid. I could use another drink. But before that, we have to have our memorable match of the week. And hopefully you agree with me on this. I'm praying that our match of the week is the first ever tag team ladder match at No Mercy 99, the Terry Invitational Tournament Final. Edge and Christian versus the Hardy Boys, but they were called the New Brood. Got a standing ovation of the night. Hardy Boys, really the only time they ever beat Edge and Christian in a ladder match. Sad to say.
Give it time. Give it time.
Give it time.
Give it time.
But it's on the new ladder match DVD out in stores now. I would suggest buying the DVD. It's one of the best WWE videos they've probably ever made. Before we end the show tonight, I have to ask, I got your email. I thought it'd be fun to bring you on the show, mainly to really make Jake Russell mad, because really, I have so much free time. The only joy I get out of life is drinking and annoying Jake. But I really have to ask where you really came from.
You really want to know, Mr. Holmes?
Maybe.
From parts unknown. I feel like I'm about ready to have a slight seizure. Oh, it passed. I didn't see you going all apeshit and hitting Jake in the head with a pan. Although I laughed about it, but it frightens me some. What about me frightens you, Mr. Holmes? Well, many things, but a lot of things in life frighten me. Bears, popsicles, Kazam with Shaq. Scary movie. Terrible. Frightening. Well, I think that's it for this week. I'm Hot Stuff Joey Holmes. I'm Nick. We'll see you next week, America. Where to, Jake?